How's it going? AndosGaming here and welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a good day or night wherever you are in the world. In today's episode we are going to cover how to move during gunfights. Movement is such a key factor in Warzone and is one of the most utilized mechanics in the game. In my opinion, because of the movement system in Warzone, this is one of the main reasons why this game is so popular. It's just super fun slide cancelling and bunny hopping while you're in crazy gunfights. We often watch our favorite players online pull off these movement mechanics and get those team wipes and think, okay, all I need to do is slide cancel and shoot and I should be able to do the same thing and win most of my gunfights, right? Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. There's a lot more layers on how to use movement effectively during gunfights in Warzone. There are concepts that are really vital that is often missed due to the speed of how these scenarios play out. However, today I'll try to explain in detail to help you get better at movement during gunfights. As usual, I'll provide some examples, slow everything down, break down movement sequences, provide some tips and insights to help you get that team wipe the next time you bump into a squad in Warzone. In today's episode, we'll cover the basics on how to do certain movement mechanics and then onto the more advanced stuff like how to use movement to isolate fights, using movement to take out multiple enemies, using movement to keep yourself alive, the importance of the in and out concept and much more. Also at the end of today's episode, I will discuss the drop shot, talk about when I use it and what I think about it. I did get this question on my live stream and thought it would be a good idea to talk about this topic. And finally, I'll share my top loader as of right now. I'll give my opinion on the best guns currently in Warzone. With the intro out of the way, let's begin. So let's quickly go over the basics on what important movement mechanics you should know. The slide cancel, the holy grail. To slide cancel, you want to attack sprint, crouch, and then jump. This is the best way to slide cancel. It resets your attack sprint and is pretty much the foundation of a lot of movement moves in Warzone. Jump shots. The jump shot, pretty self-explanatory. Basically, you jump and shoot at the same time. You can add a little hop after you jump to cover more distance just to make yourself a harder target to track. You can also do a attack sprint jump shot to cover more distance, something I do all the time. You basically attack sprint, jump, turn to the enemy and shoot. The slide cancel jump shot, basically you slide cancel into a jump shot. It's super effective. A lot of good players use this movement mechanic all the time for high kill games. The bunny hop. To perform a bunny hop, you want to attack sprint, jump, turn, and then jump again. You want to time your hops when your feet hit the ground so you can go a bit further. With the timing, it does take a little practice, but once you get it down, you'll be gliding in no time. If you are interested to know more about these mechanics in detail, I've already made several videos covering the subject. Make sure to go check them out on my channel. Really quickly, I'm going to go over the best settings for movement as well. First, let's have a look at PC. I am a mouse and keyboard player if you were wondering. You want to set your sprint behavior to toggle and your attack sprint to left shift like I have it here. This way, you only need to press shift once to do attack sprint. You will need to find another steady aim button though, which is the trade-off. However, this was a game changer for me to help improve my movement. With keybinds, it's personal preference. I'm a weird case. I have my crouch button set onto my mouse, but I recommend you experiment and do what works for you, but those two settings should help you when it comes to movement. For controller players, you want to set your slide behavior to tap. When it comes to automatic sprint setting, this is personal preference. I can see the benefits of having automatic tap sprint on. However, I'll leave this up to you guys. Again, it's up to your playstyle. For the best button layer, if you don't have a scuff or play claw, I recommend going with bumper, jumper, tactical flip. This actually took me a while to figure out because I don't play on controller. You need to go to bumper, jumper, tactical first, and then you flip it. In my case, I just press the X on the Xbox controller. PlayStation, you just need to press square. Now you can use L2 as jump, and R3 is your crouch button, which you can use for your slide cancels. You should be able to do jump shots a lot easier now as you can keep your thumb on the joystick, and slide cancels should be a lot easier as well. Going forward now, let's break down some scenarios where we tie everything together. I'll explain how I use these mechanics to win my gunfights and provide some tips on how to use movement efficiently in battle. Have you ever bumped into a full squad of 4 and think, did I play that right? Did I use my movement correctly? What could I have done differently? Well, I think about that stuff all the time. I'm low-key obsessed with this game. Anyways, in the breakdown, I bump into a full squad and I'm just going to explain some good habits using movement when fighting a full team. Let's see how it goes. As mentioned, me and my team spot a full squad in this little shack. At this point, it seems like a good idea to push up and play this aggressive. There are 4 enemies cooped up in that little room. My teammates are a bit further back. What I try to do is gather some intel before I commit. I perform a slide cancel, do a little peek and get out of there. I did see the enemy right on the corner, so at this point I'm going to go around and peek the other side. I managed to get a pick and notice how I slid cancel right out of the way. Remember to isolate your fights. It's super important to take out one at a time. I reach out at this point and quickly realize there are 3 enemies in front of me. I don't like this. I can't stay here too long, so I dip out again. But I'm thinking now this is my chance to impress my squad, so I ego chow again. So I perform a slide cancel to see if I can get another pick. However, the enemy challenges me, which I think is the right move. The timing worked out well. As you can see, the target is picking my last known location. I'm pretty cramped up at the moment. I want to take out the enemy on the right first, so I'll perform a fadeaway to get some shots in. This is when things are not looking good. This target is out to get me. I got no ammo. I don't think I'm gonna make this.
Dernier, moi, dernier.
Somehow it all worked out. My teammates came to help me out. I was able to use a jump shot and some movement to get myself out of trouble. Let's rewind it for a couple seconds. Just some key notes I want to mention. When fighting multiple enemies, using movement is key. You want to use movement to gather intel, use movement to change angles, use your movement to isolate fights by having that in and out mentality. For example, how I got that first pick and I backed out straight away. Just little things like that can make a huge difference in gunfights. Make sure you're agile and ready to back out of danger when required. Hope you guys enjoyed that breakdown. Before we continue really quickly, if you are enjoying the content, learn anything new or find any type of value throughout the video, please smash that like button. It does help me out a whole heap. I do try to put a lot of hours and effort into these videos, so if you can tap that like button, that would mean so much. Also, remember to sub to the YouTube channel. The channel is about improvement and good vibes. If you enjoy these type of videos, make sure to sub to the channel so you don't miss out on any future content. Last thing, I have recently started streaming on Twitch at AndosGaming TV. I do have a face cam set up and some RGB lights set up. Make sure to drop by, say hello, come hang out with the A Squad live. With that out of the way, let's continue. In the next section of the video, we'll talk about the importance of focusing on the right threat and using angles to isolate your fights. A lot of times I see a lot of players just run into a room, no plan, and just try to fight everybody at once. It's really not a good idea. You want to isolate, eliminate, and then move on to the next target. In the next breakdown, I'll show you how to do that. So I'm about to push a room where there are 3 targets waiting for me. At this point, I have spotted 2 enemies. However, notice the target on the right is way more of a threat. This person is aiming at me. So I make a quick decision to hold my shots and shift my focus. Notice how I shifted my body just a little bit to the right side. This way I have cover, the second target can't see me, I'm using angles to my advantage, I'm able to fight this target one-on-one by isolating the threat. Once I get the knock, I try to reposition straight away. As you can see, the second target is shooting a rocket at me. Another target appears checking my last known location. Having good movement also means being agile to keep the enemy guessing. Finally, the last target will be aiming at my corner with an RPG, so I swing wide with the bunny hop and get the job done. I managed to clear the room, got my kills, stayed alive by using my movement, and worked out well. As shown, it's super important to focus on the immediate threat. Sometimes you have to hold the trigger and take out the more dangerous target. With isolating fights, remember to use your angles, use cover to minimize risk when fighting multiple targets. Using movement to remain agile is super important. Targets will often check your last known location and try to gang up on you. Remember to use your movement to reposition when necessary. Hope that all made sense. Well, that is it for today's breakdowns. I do really hope they were helpful. As promised, let's talk about the drop shot. The drop shot is super useful. Everyone plays a little bit different. These are just my thoughts about it. I try to use drop shots as a last resort. What I mean by that is when fighting enemies, I try to use horizontal movement as much as possible, and then when I feel stuck, that's when I do the drop shot. Another common scenario is when I get surprised. When that happens, my reaction is just to do the drop shot. I also like to stand back up after my drop shot. It kind of looks like a burpee. This is just my personal preference. I don't want to be laying on the ground for too long. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on drop shots. I try to use horizontal movement first, and then when I feel stagnant or last resort situations, that's when I tend to use my drop shots. Let me know what you guys think about drop shots in the comment section below and when you use them in combat. Another huge benefit in Warzone when utilizing proning is snaking. Basically, you want to drop down and then do like a tack sprint and you'll stand back up. This is a super useful technique when you have like a head glitch. You can quickly pop up and get intel on targets. Okay, in regards to the loadout, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really haven't had time to research the current meta since Season 6 dropped. I have been playing a lot of Battlefield 2042, the beta. I jumped to Warzone last night though, and I'm still using the AK-47 Cold War and the OTS-9. It held up pretty well. I heard the XM4 is back in the mix when it comes to the top ARs. So I need your help on this. Let me know what you guys are rocking in the comment section below. Anyways, that is it for today's video. Just some final thoughts about movement. Movement is key when it comes to being agile, positioning, and winning those gunfights. It can be frustrating at times using movement during 50-50 gunfights and not coming out on top. It's called a 50-50 gunfight for a reason. Don't stress, just keep practicing and you will be fine. Make sure you practice your slide cancels, your jump shots, your slide cancel jump shots, and your bunny hops. If you want more details about this, I have tons of videos on my channel. Make sure to go check them out. Once you get the mechanics down and you start using everything in unison, it will just start to flow. If you're still here, remember to smash the like button. I would appreciate that so much. Also sub to the YouTube channel for more tips and tricks videos. Finally, remember to check out the stream on Twitch at AndosGaming TV. Come say hello, it's just good vibes. Link will be in the description. I will see you guys next time. As always, I wish you guys all the best and good luck on the Warzone.